Today let us discuss about determination of equilibrium level of income. The Keynesian theory states that the equilibrium situation is usually expressed in terms of aggregate demand AD and aggregate supply AS. When aggregate demand for products and services over a period of time equals aggregate supply, an economy is in equilibrium. So equilibrium is attained when AD equal to AS. Now we know that AD equal to C plus I and AS equal to C plus S. Therefore C plus S equal to C plus I, that is S equal to I. Therefore, according to Keynes, the two approaches to determine the equilibrium level of income and employment of an economy are aggregate demand, aggregate supply approach, that is AD-AS approach, and saving investment approach, that is SI approach. However, to determine the equilibrium output, there are certain assumptions that needs to be kept in mind. The assumptions are: the determination of equilibrium level will be examined by using a two-sector model, that is households and firms. Simply put, it is assumed that there is no foreign industry or government in the economy. It is also assumed that investment expenditure is autonomous, that is, the income level does not have any impact on investments. It is assumed that the pricing level is constant. Also, to determine equilibrium output, short trend will be considered. First, aggregate demand, aggregate supply approach. The Keynesian theory states that when aggregate demand as shown by the C plus I curve is equal to the total output, that is aggregate supply or AS, the equilibrium level of income in an economy is established. There are two parts to the aggregate demand. First, consumption expenditure C. This expenditure changes directly with the income, that is, consumption rises as income rises. Investment expenditure I. This expenditure is considered to be autonomous and independent of one's income level. So, in the income determination analysis, the AD curve is represented by the C plus I curve. The overall output of goods and services from the national income is shown as the aggregate supply. A 45-degree line is used to represent it. As AS curve is represented by the C plus S curve because the money received is either spent or saved. We can understand by this given table below. The AD or C plus I curve in the above graph shows the desired expenditure level by consumers and businesses at each level of the income. At point E, where the C plus I curve intersects the 45-degree line, the economy is in equilibrium. Observations: the equilibrium point denoted by the letter E occurs when desired expenditure on consumption and investment is equal to the total output. OY is the output at equilibrium level that corresponds to point E. In the above table, the aggregate demand is equal to the aggregate supply, that is at 200 crores when the equilibrium level of income is rupees 200 crores. In a case of effective demand refers to the level of aggregate demand that becomes effective since it is equal to AS. Saving investment approach, SI approach. The saving investment approach states that when the planned saving S is equal to the planned investment I, the equilibrium level of income in an economy is established. Example is given in the table. The investment curve in the above graph shows that the autonomous investment made, therefore it is parallel to x-axis. The saving curve S slopes upward, which means that saving increases with an increase in income. At point E, where the investment curve intersects the saving curve, the economy is in equilibrium. Observations: the equilibrium point denoted by the letter E occurs where the saving and investment curves intersect each other. Also at point E, X anti-saving is equal to X anti-investment. The equilibrium level of output corresponding to the equilibrium point E is OY. In the above table, planned saving is equal to the planned investment, that is rupees 30 crores when the equilibrium level of income is rupees 200 crores.